All right.
We hang together on rooftops forever. We hang together. We hang together. It's Rooftop ICKS.
Hello and welcome to Rooftop ICKS. I'm Bryn.
And I'm Ben.
And today we're going to be talking about the new Pallbearer record, Foundations of Burden. They are a doom metal band.
Yes.
I think you can say doom metal is fine.
Doom metal is nothing that I know about at all, so
Right.
I'm
curious
coming
to hear
in
what you're
on
saying because this is a metal album, but it's very slow, it's very melodic, it's very clean. The vocals are sort of triumphant and not screaming.
This one did
like-
strike a chord with me.
Okay.
The guitar sounds struck me right away. As soon as it comes in, I was like, yes, this is actually right what I'm in the mood for, and didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And then the vocals over it are like, sometimes it feels very Pink Floyd-y.
Okay.
It's like if you took a Pink Floyd album and then just made it heavy.
Yeah.
Like just really distorted the hell out of it and just really got some big drums in it. And then sometimes there's some little guitar flourishes that feel sort of Brian May, Queen kind of. And vocally sometimes Queen too.
Really?
So to me it's like if you took Queen and Pink Floyd and got them together and then made them record in the mud.
in a dark night under like a witch's moon.
Yeah, something like that.
The downsides of this album are sort of the same downsides as the first album, which was one of my favorite records of that year. Is that it's a little samey. I feel like
yeah, it does get a little samey, but it also is varied enough that I feel like the sameness is allowed.
Yeah, I think so. I think their tone, it's like they know what they want to do and they want to do it for the whole record and just sort of rock your face off and then dip you down into like a little pretty lull and then rock your face off again.
Yeah.
And I think they're not trying to do anything else. And their sort of melodies are sort of all very similar because they're just trying to do what they're doing. And I think I like what they're doing enough to just accept that and listen to it.
Right.
All the way through.
Yeah, as I was listening to the album, it did sort of, my opinion of it did go up and down of saying like, oh, this is kind of all the same though. But then, just when I would think that something interesting would happen, I often think that metal is the same.
Right.
It tends to be very boring, you know, to me, because of how samey it often is, you know.
I think I've heard people describe that and review it that way and say, oh, like that means it's bad, but I feel like that's how a lot of metal is, that's how a lot of avant-garde music is. Like, you wouldn't say that about a drone record. It's all the same. Of course it's all the same. I don't think that's
I really liked the album. It took me by surprise. I didn't have a frame of reference for it. I mean, I guess the guitar sounds tell you that it's metal, but other than that, I wouldn't have probably described it as a metal album.
Interesting.
I mean, the guitar sounds are definitely metal sounds. But, I mean, imagine those songs and it was just like a bunch of chorus effects on the guitar instead of all that distortion.
Yeah.
There would be nothing metal about it.
It's a psych record, it could be as well. But I mean, I think the tempo makes it very doomy, that very slow, you know, because it's samey a little bit, and I see why it's maybe not as exciting as the first record. They don't really progress. The first record is almost exactly the same. I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah.
I love it. I see like how maybe they could have explored themselves a little more, but I'm loving it, so I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I feel like I only got exposed to it today, so this is like a completely new thing and I'm not that familiar with it, so I feel like going 8, but I'm gonna go 7.
Yeah, I think that's fair for you.
Yep, I'm gonna go 7 with it.
Yeah, 7 and 8. I think it's great.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable listen. I liked it. Let's see what Lucas Jr. thinks of it.
What will Lucas Jr. think of it?
Come on, guys. I'm just waiting here. Any day now.
All right, Lucas. How do you feel about Pallbearer?
Oh my God, this is like the happiest music I've ever heard.
Happy?
Listen to it. I feel like I just won the Olympics.
That happy, huh? All right. Well, I'm glad you find it like you're
This
so happy
reminds me
about
of the time when I won the Olympics.
No.
And
you entered an Olympics as a cat in the Cat Olympics?
yeah, the
or-
Cat Olympics. It was actually the Lucas Olympics.
What's the Lucas Olympics?
It's an Olympics for Lucases.
Well, just people name. Wait, we've been over this. We've been over this. That doesn't exist. This
Was
is like
George Lucas in the Lucas Olympics?
Well, I don't know. What's his name?
you're just rehashing the same conversation we had about the club for Lucas.
Well, that's how you win.
Being named
You gotta
Lucas?
be in it to win it.
So you only win by being named Lucas?
And you gotta be in it. You gotta be in it to win it. And you gotta be named Lucas.
To win it?
You gotta be named Lucas to win it, as they say. Do you guys ever play poker? That's what they say. You gotta be in it to win it, and you gotta be named Lucas to win it. And
No one
you
says that.
and they also say all you need is a chip and a chair.
That was the funniest little shovel, Lucas, I've ever seen you do.
You are rocking the fuck out to this
Well,
record.
like, you know, happy music makes me do a happy dance.
I don't know if I would really describe this as happy, but you're also crazy. So it makes sense that you'd think this was happy music.
If I was at the show,
That is a new shuffle for you.
I feel this is like a new
He's too excited. He almost came off the ground, Lucas.
I know, I was so excited I almost came off the ground.
That's what we said.
I just said that.
No, I'm the one that just said that. You said it before me. Guys, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, is that why you're dancing so hard?
Oh, it all makes sense now.
So you want to go see this band?
Yeah.
I have a ticket that I'm not going to be able to use.
But as long as they have a bathroom at this show, I'm down.
They definitely do. They have 3.
Oh my gosh, that's great. I love when shows have bathrooms.
Have you ever been to a show without a bathroom?
Yeah, I went to the Lucas Olympics. They only have a litter box.
Well, that's because it's for cats. Are you sure that? Are you sure it wasn't the sand that you jump over? In the
I was just under the impression that Greece didn't have bathrooms and they just had litter boxes.
It was in Greece?
Yeah, the Olympics.
I think you're making this up.
No,
Yes.
I don't even know how to make shit up.
Yes, you do. That's all you do.
I didn't make up Greece.
What is Greece?
Greece is where the Olympics are, and John Travolta's in it,
Yeah.
and Olivia Newton-John, and
Yeah, see, this is what I'm
Greece
saying.
is the word. Greece is the word. Everybody
the
knows.
time and the place and the motion.
Everybody
but that's
knows.
Not the, that's not the country.
The bird is the word.
No, Greece is the word.
Greece is the word. Greece, Greece, Greece. Well, Greece is the word. Everybody heard that Greece is the word.
So
Don't you know about the Greece? 'Cause everybody knows that the Greece is the word.
All right. I think it's your bedtime now, Lucas. This is when you have to go to bed.
This is viewer email.
Today we have a special musical guest.
Musical guest, Rain Vivian.
That's correct. Rain Vivian is here to help us with emails and also talk about his musical project.
Rain Vivian, tell us about Rain Vivian. Not the man, the music.
Right, I figured. It's kind of more industrial, trip-hoppy, kind of like 9 Inch Nails-y with Portishead kind of like vibey beats. With a little Tom Waits in there, like some kind of organic, like junkyard bluesy.
Do you use a lot of vocal effects or
Not too much. I try to stay pretty clean with vocals. I do a lot of like
vocal affects?
vocal affects. I do a lot of vocal layers though. I really like harmonies
cool.
and stuff, so I like making things bigger than it probably should be. But
I like layers.
Layers are good.
It's the time of year for layers. Would you say you're influenced by seasons?
Actually, I would, definitely.
Yeah?
I would.
All right.
Nice.
Are you ready to help us answer the emails?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. The first email is from Mr. Coffee Bean.
Mr. Coffee.
And he asks, my roommate is so inconsiderate. It's unbelievable. What is your worst roommate experience?
Like the worst guy I ever had was this guy named Charlie, who was, I shouldn't say his name. I'm sure he never sees these episodes.
You could say a different name.
Okay, the worst roommate I ever had was this big, giant, fat Greek guy. Big, hairy Greek guy. He'll never know who I'm talking about now. He sort of took over the living room as his second bedroom. Like, he was in there all the time, and the floor was just covered in DVD covers and video game covers and takeout menus. My girlfriend at the time, referred to it as his nest.
Yeah.
Like in the X-Files episode.
I guess so. And so sometimes she would be like, "Hey, do you know where your DVD of blah 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 is?" And I go, "I don't know. I think it's in the living room." And she'd be like, "Oh, in Charlie's nest." And then so if you went in there to get a DVD, most of the DVDs covers were empty.
Right.
They were just there, and then the DVDs were on the floor. And if there was a DVD in a cover, it wasn't the corresponding movie.
Oh, never.
It was a disaster. And then takeout menus, because he literally would not get off the couch.
Except to put in DVDs.
Right, and then he would order takeout, and he somehow, though, living this lifestyle, managed to get filthy.
Somehow.
So by not doing anything, just sitting there and festering, when he would finally go take a shower, it would be a disaster when he came out.
Oh no.
Like the floor of the shower would be like covered in sand and twigs and bugs and things like that. You're like, how did you get dirty? How did you get dirty? You do not come in contact with dirt, ever.
Because grease and
like walking to the
dandruff
front
would
door,
make
you
sense.
somehow got a little dirty? Like, how is the shower? It looks like a zoo animal was bathed in here. Other than that, though, I mean, he wasn't really a nightmare or anything.
Other than the fact that he was filthy and did nothing. But he paid rent.
Other than he required a zookeeper to take care of him and bathe him and clean out his nest every once in a while. It wasn't like a bad roommate.
The things that I usually get in arguments with roommates is like, about helicopters.
My worst roommate was a helicopter.
It's very loud.
You would think that you would be psyched to have a helicopter as a roommate. It only looks good on paper. It ends up being a total nightmare.
The roommate. The worst roommate. The worst I've had with roommates is arguments about dishes or you know, cleanliness or where furniture goes. I've never had somebody like, you know, fucking on my property at, you know, random times, or I've heard horror stories.
I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico, but I was living in Albuquerque at the time, and my roommate kind of let his two friends, they were like major cokeheads, like just
Not
stay.
meth heads.
They weren't meth heads.
Okay, are you sure?
I swear to God.
I thought it was all meth out there.
That's, yeah, I'm not gonna
Breaking
comment
Bad
on
would
this.
have you
I'm not
believe.
gonna comment on this. But yeah, but they ended up staying for a couple weeks, and they ended up seeing like all our rent, which was like $900. They just kind of
They stole it?
Yeah, man. So we had to kick them out.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad.
Hopefully
That
beat
was
them up and get your rent back, right?
Well, yeah, we never got it back, but
Yeah, I've heard insane stories like that, and I've never had anything that bad.
This next email is from Thriller Nights with K. Can zombies run or can't they? And are there hard fast rules to movie monsters like zombies and vampires, or should they be viewed as fictional characters that live only in whichever movie it is?
Right.
That's a long question.
So, yeah, there's a lot of heated debate over whether zombies can run or not.
I think zombies are zombies.
The Romero zombies,
Not so much.
given credit for being the zombies. Those
The
are them.
original zombies.
Right. And it sort of laid the ground rules for all zombies are this or they're not zombies. That's what some people think.
But I don't think that. I think anything that is spreading its condition that is, you know, outside of being human, just basically turns into an animal with thirst for human.
That's what I think too.
You know, 28 days later, zombies.
Yeah.
It's zombies.
I agree.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Oh, it's a virus. Whatever. It's just a different thing.
And in some cases, like, I don't even know if in 28 days later they even refer to them as zombies.
They don't.
Which is kind of cool.
So there you go. So they can run if they want to.
Yeah, they're still zombies.
They can run if they want to. If zombies were slow, if they couldn't run,
Yeah.
more traditional zombies, that would be a lot more fun. If zombies could run, like
Right.
that would just suck. Like I think that would actually end the world. But if they were that slow, it might
You could contain
it
them,
might kind of
you
work.
could mow them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like vampires, like original.
See, I feel like vampires, they're more rigid about. Laundry list of rules for vampires
Yeah.
that people are sticklers for now, where it's like, it's not a vampire because of that and that, and that's wrong, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's not scientific, it's not a real thing.
No, it's not. There's a general style of vampire.
Sure.
And anything that wants to be a vampire and call itself a vampire is a vampire. Like if you're whether you're sticking precisely to Stoker rules, which
Yeah.
no one does anymore.
Yeah. The only vampire rule that I like to always be the same is where the fangs are.
I
Like
agree.
they should be the canines.
Like on their hands.
They're the canines. Sometimes, in one movie I saw, they were the two next to the front teeth were the fangs.
That's stupid.
And it didn't
The
look right.
yeah.
It just aesthetically didn't look right because your canines are sort of pointy anyway, and they
almost-
already are fangs.
They almost look like buck teeth.
Yeah.
Where they're like, ooh.
And then
Yeah,
I
they're a
thought,
little too close
and then
to
it seems
the
like I saw another vampire movie where they were all fangs. Every tooth was like a pointy little fang type thing, and that didn't bother me as much. But the two next to the two front teeth didn't look right.
But
at
I think
all.
because you're not an insane person, you would say, I don't like that design of that vampire.
Yeah,
but
just
it's not.
aesthetically
It's
didn't-
not a vampire.
right.
Okay. Next question is from Barney Bus. How soon in a relationship should you have sex?
Well, as with vampires and zombies, there's no hard and fast rules about this stuff. Depends on which movie you're in.
I would agree.
What you want out of a relationship, I guess.
Yeah, I think if I plan on falling in love with the person, waiting is better.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I
think
feel
so,
like
too.
once I have sex with the person, I stop trying to get to know them, and I'm just wired that
Really?
way.
Bad man.
Yeah. It's just an unconscious thing. Like it's like you know them now at the most intimate level.
Well,
And so you sort of bypassed all this other. I mean, of course, you get to know somebody the more time you spend with them, but it's in a different light. Whereas when you're attracted to somebody, and I'm deciding, I think I'll probably want to fall in love with this person. Then I won't have sex right away.
Right.
how long though?
Well, I don't know. You just gotta go with the flow and see what feels right.
See, because for me, I feel
But
like
I don't have like a calendar of like, okay, 3 weeks is the date. You just sort of see how long. I mean, it depends on how
Isn't there
much
that-
time you spend with the person.
Isn't there that 3-date rule, right? Or
3-date?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Like the third
Like-
date is the.
That
I
feels
feel
kind
like
of
if-
old-fashioned. Do
I
people
feel
really
like if
even
you-
have dates anymore?
Right.
Yeah, I think I have dates.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned.
I don't think you're old-fashioned. I don't think you'll ever be accused of that.
No, I don't think so.
Well, for me, also, the sex is actually of better quality too. When you spend all this time really getting to know them intimately,
Yeah. I would agree with that.
emotionally intimate.
Yeah, but I think I
then
agree.
when the sex hits, it's amazing. Versus if you sort of have sex right away and then sort of get to know them, the sex feels sort of the same as any other sex, and it's not as good. But on the other hand, sex is like
not-
pizza. Like even when it's bad, it's still okay.
I don't know if that's a pretty bad pizza.
Unless someone forces you to eat pizza.
Well, like a pizza rape? Is that what you're drawing a comparison
Yeah,
of?
I'm
I
trying.
think that's happened to me before, actually. It is New
sorry.
York. Yeah,
I was just walking
that's
through
what
the
my songs are
park.
about.
Walking through the park, I was wearing something sort of short and tight. And somebody ran up and shoved dollar pizza down my throat, and it was gross. I hated it.
I was hanging out with someone I didn't want to eat pizza, and they were just forcing.
I mean, I was wearing an outfit that sort of made it look like I wanted pizza.
what kind of outfit?
But that's no excuse. That doesn't make it okay.
What kind of outfit?
I didn't want pizza.
What kind of outfit means you want pizza?
A red and white checkered shirt.
Yeah. There we go.
I looked like an Italian restaurant tablecloth.
Well,
I was carrying a thing of Parmesan.
That'll do it.
No one could resist.
You're asking
No
for
one
it.
could resist that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean.
It doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, it doesn't make it okay. You're allowed to dress like that.
Wait, what was the question?
Oh, the question was, we should cut
How
all
long?
of that out.
The question was, how long should you know somebody before you use and degrade them? For me, a while.
Hey, I love using integrating boys as soon as I meet them.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Sure. And
Yeah.
Rain, what was your answer?
Well, I mean, yeah, I
said
think
it
it really
depends.
depends. Yeah.
Well, all right. I guess that concludes this segment of emails. Check out Rain Vivian's links downstairs.
In the downstairs.
In the downstairs.
In the apartment.
Go down on this episode and find out where Rain Vivian's stuff is.
Check out our downstairs bonanza.
All right. And until next time, top of the world to you.